you doing? Boy, it's really cold here in Livonia. The weather is just like, it's just ice cold in Livonia. You know, there's some streets in Livonia that are really good, but, I don't want to mention Livonia too much, but I want to tell you it's the off night, people. It's off night. It's the day after, the Oscars. We're going to talk about the Oscars. And, of course, it's the day before Punchki Day, which is great in Livonia. Livonia has some of the best punchki places to catch. I love the lemon, and I love the raspberry, and I love the blueberry ones. But me, it's the lemon, especially the donut shop you have in Livonia. So before we get further, I'm going to call up our MC, who also happens to be from Livonia. Please welcome Mark Sweetman.
Hey, hold on,
I guess I'm part of the Livonia team. You have two teams in Livonia.
No. What? Why all the Livonia love or hate? I couldn't tell whether you were being complimentary or sarcastic.
Because Sam mentioned that he didn't want to hear Livonia.
Oh well. We are what we are. What can I say?
I get it. No, Livonia's fine. I love Livonia. It's great.
Can I tell you, Sam, being the Democrat that he is, should be proud of us because when we moved here, we were represented by nothing but Republicans.
Got it.
And now Livonia has a Democratic congressman. We have all three of our state offices are Democratic women. Governor, Attorney General, and Secretary of State. And our two senators are Democrats, Dana Polhanke and Mary Kavanaugh. Mm-hmm. And our three House representatives in Lansing are Democrats. Our representative, Matt Solazar, along with our former one, we got redistricted out of her district. We're, can't remember her name now. Pohutsky and Stephanie Young is our third one. All of them Democrats, where we used to be all Republicans. So there, okay. Livonia. Now we're still the whitest town in America of more than 100,000 people, but we're Democrats.
Now I'm beginning to understand why Sam didn't want to hear about Livonia. Okay. I was just doing it as a joke. I didn't realize I was putting into the story behind the story. It's like some sort of documentary on Livonia. I didn't realize I was going there. Livonia is a great town. Good stuff. They have a nice. They have one of the better Barnes and Nobles up there, which is kind of good. And
no, that Barnes and Noble is actually in Northville. I'm sorry to tell you, it's across the street.
What happened?
That street that Barnes and Noble. You said one of the better Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Northville. That's right on the border. That street that Barnes and Noble is on is that street divides Northville from Livonia.
So you have the used bookstore, is that right?
I'm trying to think of our bookstore in Livonia. Yes, there's one at 5 Mile in Merriman. You're right, there is a used bookstore over there.
Used bookstore there, yeah. Okay, well, there you
go.
Right
next door to the used sporting goods equipment store.
Well, there you go. You guys, you use.
Just don't order pizza don't order pizza from that strip mall.
Oh no, avoid the pizza. We don't want the reused.
You don't want secondhand pizza.
No, secondhand pizza is very bad. Well, honestly, if you get hungry enough, secondhand pizza is fine. Anyway, one bite that doesn't mean anything. Okay, anyway, so how are things going? I appreciate you letting me do my Oscar night. It was quite the adventure. We'll have to get Sam in here. So
what's that?
Sam wants to talk about Oscars.
Oh, you just went out on my screen. I don't know if you're out on everybody else's. What'd you say, Andy?
I said Sam wants to talk about the Oscars, so we'll talk about it when he's there. Okay.
Oh, we're gonna get it. Yeah. In fact, Susan's gotten her poem. Let's get Susan out here so we can get it to her poem.
Okay, get her poem.
And then we can talk about the Oscars all night if he wants to. Here's Susan.
Well, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go check the salmon. Okay.
Hello. Okay. You think we have any audience left after Mark? You break down all the political categories in Livonia. Everybody fell asleep or turned the channel.
That's fine.
You what?
They turn the channels. They turn the channel for any variety of reasons. So I mean, I'm giving them. I'm giving them another outlet to get out of their show.
As exciting as a meeting of the commission.
Commission meetings.
As exciting as a school board meeting.
Oh, school board meeting. Oh,
as exciting as a board meeting. Emphasis on board.
B-O-R-E-D, right?
Do you want? I'll be happy to share with you the poem of the night.
All right, here she is, Susan Sweetman with the poem of the night.
Here you go. On this first Monday of March 2025. Here we go. Should Trump and Vance scold Vladimir? Zelensky stood his ground. That is quite clear. My memory is plain. Russia invaded Ukraine. It was 3 years ago. You'd think Trump would know. There is war news galore. Is our Prez a Putin whore? We have increased military at the southern border, and Musk got into your data by executive order. Trump wants to own Greenland and Gaza and Panama. And don't forget the 51st state we call Canada. There is pestilence too. Uganda Ebola outbreak is true. While federal employees' jobs are a quagmire, both North and South Carolina are on fire. So the Oscars are done, and somebody won. Pretty clothes and nice hair, but should we really care? I guess the next film I'll see is Honora as soon as it is free. And that's your poem.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's good.
Let's get the other guys out here, because I know Susan likes to say hello before she hurries off. And I can tell that you're in your night clothes, so you're getting out of here.
Yes. I'm trying to do the lounge wear, the relaxing smoking jacket or whatever.
Well, I know that excites everybody but Jason. But anyway, here's
better than the city council meeting in Livonia.
Yeah. She's going to the council meeting at night. Like the old Playboy at night type of thing.
No, nothing like that.
No, nothing like that. All right. Well, there's Sam's room.
Hi, Sam's room.
It's still like, well, let's get Jason out here then. Jason can at least talk to us here. And here's Jason. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
guys. All our guys.
Hi, Jason.
By the way, I love your Hugh Hefner casual look, Susan.
Thank you.
Playboy After Dark.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Playboy After Dark. She's going to board meeting after dark. That's what it is. So.
You know where you can't see that?
Why is that?
You know where you can't see it?
Where?
Where can't you say it?
Livonia.
Oh.
I have a feeling Livonia is going to be getting the short end of the stick tonight, guys.
Livonia.
Hey, speaking of Punchki Day,
ooh, yes.
I think there's better Punchkis in Hamtramck. And if you want to stick close to Livonia for your jelly donut,
God
there's
knows I do.
Bakery at 5 and Merriman, 5 Mile and Beach Daily in Redford.
Well, in Ypsilanti, it's
you talking about Donut Town?
Donut Town, yes.
Bring it on down to Donut Town.
That's right. They have. You will wait in line tomorrow to get your Punchkis.
You know, I hadn't even thought about. I should have asked anybody if they wanted to go down to Hamtramck, just for the experience of buying your punch. Hey, I think it's great. I think it's great that in New Orleans everybody's getting drunk and bearing their breasts for stupid ass beads. Meanwhile, we get up in the dark to go line up for a donut.
Yeah.
Hey, I've seen people bare their breasts for donuts. You know.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's those breasts that cause those donuts, probably. I mean, those donuts that cause those breasts.
I
Mark?
think the whole
It is
theory
a-
behind Mardi Gras is, well, if we're going to have 40 days of Lent and be godly, we want to have a last, go as close to hell as possible with
Yeah.
our
So guess which
behavior
town is in the
before Ash
so,
Wednesday.
yeah, based on that, you could probably guess which town is in the warmer climates and which one is in the frozen tundra by how they celebrate. One, they bare their breasts, and the other one, they eat donuts.
Yes.
Yeah, but the best bears are alcoholics.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Well, Fat Tuesday is my favorite gay holiday, so there you go. Make of it what
No,
you
okay.
Let me
Now, how
let
did
me
the-
ask you
now-
about something that I did not put in the poem, but did anybody get to see all the 7 planets lined up?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Nice.
There's only 7?
At the moment.
Well,
We
7
can't
are
see. We couldn't have
lined
seen
up.
we couldn't have seen Earth, so it had to be only 6, right?
No, 7. 7 are lined
Uh-huh.
up,
Yep.
All right.
planets,
Is
and
Pluto a planet?
Not anymore.
no, so it doesn't
Wow.
count. So I guess the question is, which one didn't fall in line?
So we have Mercury, Venus, Earth,
Who's not in
Mars,
that line?
Mercury, Venus,
You-
Earth, Mars,
I guess it's
Jupiter,
everybody.
Saturn,
Saturn,
Uranus,
Uranus,
Neptune, and that's
Neptune,
it.
Yeah,
And
so I guess that's all of them plus us.
and
Makes
the red-headed stepchild Pluto.
yes.
Oh dear.
Oh, let's not forget my anus.
Who can forget
That's
Uranus?
Uranus, buddy.
Anyhow,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it won't happen for another 400 years, so
Well, I won't be here.
worth seeing.
Sam
All
probably
Hope
will
Trump's
though.
out of office
You know
by
what?
then.
We always get these celestial shows that will only happen in another 100, 200, 400, whatever many years it is. And I realize since we see so many of these and none of us lives more than 100, that really these things happen all the time. We're just at the ones that they're happening at. We just
Yeah.
happen to be in the sky when that's
Well,
the one that happens.
What's pretty amazing about our universe is that it works like clockwork. So they can do a little math and some measurements and know exactly when things are going to
When we're
happen.
gonna
I mean, that's the real thing that's amazing, that there's not just general chaos, that everything, you can launch a rocket to Mars,
There's-
when and where to have it take off, so it'll land.
there's no general chaos until they do the math and figure out that one of those asteroids is going to hit us.
He was a
Then
great
there'll be
military mind, by the way.
Oh, hey. Oh yeah.
Who's that?
General Chaos.
General
Oh, okay.
Yes. Chaos. Hey, I'll go along with that theory until I have to go to the bathroom on a highway. It's not.
You say that like it's a bad thing, Andy. Come on.
It is a bad thing. Chaos reigns. You can't predict that. You can't predict that's going to happen.
Can't predict everything, but I think part of what's going on with our country is kind of ridiculous. So, for example, the statistics I heard recently are by this time in Biden's administration, more illegal immigrants had already been kicked out than Trump's been able to do. But you wouldn't think that, just
Same with Obama.
the way he talks about what he's doing.
What? Trump's only had 6 weeks, and he's only been kicking out people that aren't white. Wait until he starts kicking out everybody.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
your
by the
numbers
way,
Well,
did you
yeah,
see? We talked about
especially
this earlier. Did you see the guy who the senator from Kansas who left a board meeting?
No, it was a community meeting,
It was
right?
a community meeting, and he walked out,
Yeah.
and he told the people there, "This is the way to get votes. You are the rudest group I have ever seen in my life." And I thought to myself, so you've never talked to Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Here's
the sad part, Sam. There are people that he spoke rudely to that are going, I'm going to vote for that guy. He was very nasty to
I'm
me.
about to say, try and get rid of a sitting senator. Let
Well,
me know how
not
it
only
goes.
are they going to vote for him, but people think, well, he's going to lose the election. They're still Republicans. That was a Republican meeting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They'll go there. They'll
Well,
hold their nose.
you heard about James Carville. You heard about James Carville's what do you call it when you write an article? His opinion piece. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
No.
James Carville writes an opinion piece, and he said the Democrats should just rope-a-dope. Just sit back and let the Republicans do everything.
James Carville's been the only one talking sense for months.
I not only think he's right. I not only think he's right, but if you look at the history of this country over the last, let's say, 40 years, okay?
Right.
Republicans always shoot themselves in the foot. They always, they're their worst.
That's not true. Sometimes we get the thigh.
Well, that's true. I'm nuts about them. But that's what happens. By the way, Mark and I talked about this earlier. One of the assholes, and God knows there's a plethora of Republicans, criticized Zelensky for not wearing a suit in the Oval Office. And there's Musk standing there looking like he brought a covered dish to a barbecue.
No, he's
Okay.
bringing chainsaw.
The problem is that you've got these reporters from these right-wing networks, and they have a loyalty test rather than what their value is as a journalist. And
absolutely.
They're going to ask
if they don't use the Gulf of America, they're not going to be able to interview the president.
I kissed his ass first. No, I did. No, me.
I swallowed.
I
You just
call
took
it
it
the
on the
Gulf
face.
of the Americas, and see, because that makes more sense. Gulf of the Americas.
Of all the things that Yutz could care about, that's what he cares about. Oh, and one other, Marco Rubio, who is to ass kissing what Einstein was to relativity. Okay. He goes, I think Zelensky should apologize. Really? I think you should learn how to. I don't think you can spell apology. You're the one who called. You're the one who called Rubio. Trump called him Little Marco.
Yeah.
Little Mark. And by the way, that's only mentally.
Well, if you look, the United States did pledge security in the previous administration to Ukraine. Yeah. So, did Trump write an executive order to pull security away? I mean, we've already agreed to it. So, but I don't know that our new president actually reads a lot. So he's probably not aware
or reads at all.
We've already promised them security. I think that he and Vance were very rude. I think Zelensky held his ground and was very appropriate. He didn't let them bully him into being his, revising history.
Yeah.
Putin invaded Ukraine, and Trump, for some reason, won't admit that. He's blaming. He called. When did he apologize for calling Zelensky a dictator? I mean, Trump owes the apology.
But see, these are things we already. You're right. You're absolutely right, Susan. But these are things we know. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a scoundrel. And we're debating what level of scoundrel he is.
What does Putin have on Trump that he's doing?
Yeah,
nothing.
He's got probably
the
more
P
than
tape. He's got the P tape.
No. He has nothing on him.
Wow.
He has nothing on him. No, Trump is so far up Putin's ass. They're speaking in tongues. He has nothing. He has nothing on him. He admires guys who are bullies. Orban, Putin, Xi. He just admires because he himself doesn't have the balls to do what those guys do. So he's just a nutless creep. That's the reason this is happening.
I found out something about Trump that may inform me a bit about why his campaigns are working. He's a very big worldwide wrestling fan.
Oh my God!
He's 9 years old, so it just explains how he speaks, why his dialogue works so well with the lower class.
Even at my age, I would give a year. Even at my age, I would give a year of my life if one of those guys body slammed him.
Yeah.
Just pick this fat. Even when he was in a wrestling thing, okay, he couldn't allow himself to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
pick him
getting the
up
impression-
because they can pick him up physically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Trump, not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think Hulk Hogan could pick Trump up?
Nope.
Maybe with a couple martinis.
I don't know, but hopefully
He's got to be 300. He's got to be 350
away
pounds.
before that ever happened. If you think about it, really.
I mean, it's all I think about.
But how many of the Secret Service federal employees have been let go? I mean, what's next?
They're
Yeah,
pausing.
I'll approve of that.
That's what's next.
We don't see much. We don't see much of Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, and Jared anymore.
Well, you know why, don't you? Diversity.
Well, they passed the background
Yeah,
check.
DEI.
Diversity, equality, inclusion. Donald, Eric, and Ivanka.
Yep.
Wow.
I think that, and the only one who was really Eric was a little bit vocal, but once they got out of the first time, you never saw Ivanka again. But
I love when Eric says, people come up to me all the time, and as soon as he said that, I went, no, they don't.
But that is a Trump line. That's his dad says people come up to me all the time. People always say the people do this.
I got in trouble one time because I did a radio thing about 6 months ago where they said, he says, people come up to my dad all the time, says, I miss your father. And I said, well, they should aim better.
Too soon.
That also helps explain why you don't see the DEI Trumps.
Yeah.
Here's the problem that I have with the political parties, that some people use words interchangeably and they don't mean the same thing. There are an awful lot of Republicans that think Republican actually means Christian, and it doesn't.
No.
Well, they're idiots.
How about the ones that group fascists and communists in the same sentences? If somebody can be
I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, or how about this one? Socialist communists.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's the worst.
That's the most ridiculous combination. I can't believe that.
Why don't they just say black or wanna be black? That's what they really mean.
Well, as I look out on your podcast, Mark, and we think a bunch of old white guys, you're actually a little more diverse than that. You got your DEI here. We got our Jewish man.
I refer to myself as Radical Hebe.
Right.
We have our gay.
You can say it.
Representing
It's okay.
that segment of society.
Yeah,
I mean, we have some diversity, so we can thumb our noses at the president.
We have a gay conservative. That's even weirder.
That's right.
Even weirder.
He's part of the log cabin crew. What are they?
We've got Republicans, we got Democrats, we've got, we're diverse.
There was a documentary called Outrage about Republicans, conservative Republicans, who were gay.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who described it, was talking about it, who was gay, said, D.C., Washington, D.C., when it comes to gay Republicans, is like Disneyland.
Yeah.
He said, you have no idea how many Republican staffers there are who are going to pick up bars. It never ends.
Maybe even the senator or two, but let's leave Lindsey Graham out of this.
Do you remember a guy? Do you remember a guy named David Dreyer?
Yes.
He was a rising star in the Republican Party.
That name sounds familiar. Where was he from?
Good-looking guy, California, I think. Good-looking guy, very well-spoken, very Republican to his bones.
Wide stance.
Huh?
Wide stance.
Yeah.
Like men, and
didn't Didn't want trannies in his daughter's restroom. Yeah. Okay.
No, he wasn't married.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you who he was like.
He
I
was
can't
a
remember.
confirmed bachelor.
I can't remember her. Molinari, Susan Molinari.
Yep.
You remember her?
Yeah.
She was Guy Molinari's daughter.
Yep.
So she marries this guy, and I don't have good gaydar. I just don't. I was talking to my friend Johnny Mathis the other day, and no, but I'm looking at her husband, and I thought, if this guy's not gay, I don't have toes. Okay. And then he was also like a rising star in the Republican Party, her husband, Scott. And one day he just vanished. You don't see him at press conferences. You don't see him at anything.
He was on the Appalachian Trail.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days? And but he but Dreyer, it's like one day he was the hot young thing, and I don't mean that sexually. I mean in terms of rising star in the party. I don't know what the hell he's doing now. I don't know if he's dead. I do not know. But if you see a gay Republican, if you see a Republican and you don't see him again, look for the word lifestyle.
Okay. I think of that Seinfeld episode where they'd say somebody is this or that, and then they'd say, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Let's bring that language back, you know?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Gay, not that there's anything wrong with that. She's a woman, not that there's anything wrong with that.
I like the Seinfeld where it's the anti-dentite.
You anti-dentite son of a bitch. Also, there was one where they say something and Seinfeld says, "Yeah, that's not good," and she goes, "Yeah, especially for the Jews."
I saw an episode the other day of, maybe I just saw a clip on YouTube or something like that, but it was the one where George buys John, the Midnight Cowboy actor,
Voight.
He buys John Voight's car, and they go through the whole episode about this, what he has to go through to have John Voight's car. And then somebody notices that the title says, "Oh, that's the guy. He's got an H. I thought John spells his name without an H. That's not the John Voight." And he was just like so pissed off by it. I mean, those are the types of things in Seinfeld that I just love.
My favorite was the Kenny
Banyan.
Kenny Banyan was great.
Kenny Rogers chicken.
Kenny Rogers chicken thing across from his house. It's like the Red Planet in there, Jerry. It's like comes in, he grabs some tomato soup.
Coming in, the whole right side of his face is all burned, from the sign outside the apartment.
And then he goes into Jerry's place, grabs the tomato soup, puts it on cereal, and says, "Oh my God, my retinas are cut. I thought that was milk."
That show even covered immigration. Didn't he forget to give his neighbor his mail or something? He was waiting and he was being deported or something.
Was that Poppy? I think it was Poppy.
Yes.
You remember
what was great
remember
about
the general manager at WKRP?
Yeah.
And he comes on at a debate, and his face is like cherry red. and he's in a debate with Gordon Jump, who was the GM of the station.
Right.
And he's losing. Gordon Jump is losing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's just trying to grab onto anything. At least I'm not a drunk.
I love it.
And Johnny Fever, who was fired from the station because he said booger.
Yeah, that was classic.
Well, here
they started that show, and we got Sparky Anderson in Detroit before his episode aired. They had to refilm part of that episode. Do you remember that, Mark?
I do remember that. Because he was with the Reds and filmed the KRP episode. And before it aired, he moved to the Tigers, and so they did have to dub it or something. I can't remember.
They had to add a scene or something.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite episode of that is, I swear to God, I thought turkeys could fly.
Turkeys could fly. Oh.
Yes.
I see that. Now I see that. Somebody always plays that.
Yeah.
That scene around Thanksgiving time. That's just a classic.
Actually, wild turkeys can fly, just not those ones we
Just,
fatten up.
just not the ones that we got all fat.
Mm.
That's right. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
Susan.
Bye,
sweetheart.
Susan.
Home.
I'm coming over after the show. So I'll see you
Right.
then.
Bring my jelly donuts.
I'll bring your jelly donut. And you want a
Wow.
heating pad? You want a heating pad too, right?
Yes.
Jelly donuts.
Heating pad.
Okay,
Wow.
got it.
Senior citizens getting it on. Okay.
It's
Heating
been-
pad and jelly donuts.
Yeah,
Senior
what does that really mean, Mark?
Well,
What are the jelly
Senior
donuts
citizens
mean?
getting it on.
How would you like to get hold of my eclair? I know what's going on.
send some pictures to the iPad. if you want.
Bring me that jelly
Pinchies.
donut.
Wow,
Man.
wow,
I
wow.
know what you mean by jelly donut. Yeah.
Would you rather have a jelly donut or an eclair?
Good grief. Me
Yeah.
personally, or
No, spiritually. Who gives a shit?
Seriously, who
Would
gives
you-
a-
I prefer jelly donuts to eclairs.
Oh man,
Oh,
I'd kill for an eclair right now.
Yeah.
wow.
You know what I really like are those, and for some reason around here you only get them in the fall. Are those cider mill donuts?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Those are. I mean, there's nothing fancy about them. They cook them in oil, and they're just basically they're donuts. They
That
haven't
sounds
done
rather
anything.
esoteric to me.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've had them before. They call them Dunkin' Donuts. If you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you ask for a Dunkin' Donut, it's the one that's got the little.
I've never had a
nub on it.
Dunkin' Donut.
It's got the
Yeah.
little nub on it that you can hold and dunk into your coffee.
Oh,
I
see.
go to a local donut
Dunkers.
shop. I've never had a Dunkin' Donut.
The Dunkers. That's what you call the Dunkers. We used
The
to call them
Dunkers.
Crest Sticks. I love the
Their
Crest
coffee is good.
Well, the ones that they sell at the cider mills here in Michigan are called cider mill donuts. That's how I know them by.
Is Mickey
I like
Lowe's
this, right?
alive?
Now, Mickey Lowe's, he's not making
Yeah.
donuts anymore, but he's still alive. I wish they would get him in the Hall of Fame before he dies. I'm sad that Bill Freehand didn't get to
Yeah.
get in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame before he died. There are 3 Tigers that need to be in there: Lou Whitaker, Bill Freehand, and Mickey Lolich. Oh, both those
Yeah.
guys, all those guys had way better stats than people that are in the Hall. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I
What's the
agree.
name of the guy? He's African American who got into the Hall a few years ago, and I couldn't. He was an outfielder. I could not understand how he got in.
Was it
Oh
Lemon?
no.
Right.
Did he play for the Blue Jays or the Orioles?
I think so. No, he didn't
Yeah,
play for the
yeah.
Orioles. I think he played
Yeah.
for the Blue Jays.
He might have played for both of them.
He was a decent fielder.
Yeah.
He was a Cecil fielder. No, he was a
No,
decent fielder.
How about Harold Raines? Do you think Harold Raines should have gotten in? I don't think so.
Tim Raines.
Was it Tim Raines? Tim Raines played for the Expos, not for the Blue Jays.
Mm.
But anyway, Tim Raines. I don't think Tim Raines had a career.
Is Andre Dawson
I mean,
in
there
the
are people
Hall?
with better stats. He is, but he earned it. I think he had the stats to get in the Hall of Fame.
Did Jack Morris?
Andre Dawson. Jack Morris went in with Alan Trammell.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, good.
All
Is,
right.
They went
is
in
Jim
together as
Cott in?
Tigers. Well, that's what we got Google for.
288
know.
victories, and if he's not in, that's amazing.
How about the
Hmm.
last great side armor,
Is
Dan
Jim
Quiz?
Cott in the Hall of Fame?
No, Quisenberry
The last
shouldn't be
bit.
in the Hall.
You don't think so?
Quisenberry?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
No.
know. All right.
No. no.
All right.
Not a good enough reliever. No, he was. Listen, if you're a reliever, you got to be money in the bank when you come in. He was good. He was real good, but he's not. He's not Rivera.
He was
Oh,
also
yeah.
Jim Cott was inducted in 2022. So
Okay,
he is in the Hall of Fame. Who was the other
there
guy
was
we're
an
talking
all-star. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
about? Who was the other guy we're talking about?
Jack Morris.
Jack Morris. Oh, he went in with what's his name? Alan Trammell.
Gaylord Perry got in, right?
Who?
Gaylord Perry. Talk about
Who?
Gaylord Perry,
Gaylord Perry.
greatest spitballer of all time.
Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord
Uh,
Perry.
Joe Necro, Phil Necro's brother.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that thing where the umpires come to the mound to examine his?
Yes, and
he sticks his hand. He sticks his hand in the back of his uniform and pulls out a nail file.
and then tries to throw it past the umps like they wouldn't.
And it's
see
hysterical because he goes like this. Oh, son of a bitch! What's that?
What is that? Who put that there? Gaylord Perry was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1991. So
Okay. All
he's
right.
been in quite a long time.
He could pitch though. He was a good pitcher.
Yeah.
was, but dude, that man did every dirty trick in the book.
Did you saw Major League
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
where they talk about, you get it all, you rub your nose and you put snot on the ball and all, and people think that's not true. That's exactly what these guys do.
Well, Dan Glavine. Talk about a guy who threw nothing but slop, and yet you couldn't hit him. And
Well,
Glavine.
he had the famous booger ball. So,
Well, there you go. Careful, you're going to get fired from radio if you say that, Sam.
God,
Booger.
again?
Yeah.
Steve Garvey, people don't think should have been in the Hall of Fame.
Steve, are you kidding?
I don't think he should be in the Hall because of what he did to his daughter.
Oh,
No.
you know what? I'm sorry. I take that back. He is not in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I'm reading this wrong. I'm
So
What
trying
did
you
to
were
look-
right.
What did Garvey do to his daughter?
Yeah.
There's a relationship between a father and a daughter. I'm not trying to be too Appalachian here, but
Yeah.
there's a relationship between that is very fragile. So his daughter has a birthday, right?
Uh-huh.
This is the card he sent her
Oh no.
to
Oh,
Debbie.
no.
Best wishes, happy birthday, Steve Garvey.
Oh.
Steve Garvey.
Yeah.
Because had he not signed his last name, she wouldn't know who he was. Are you kidding? His wife was pretty,
Mm-hmm.
Cindy,
Oh, yeah.
and he tried to run for the Senate on the Republican ticket, and the Republicans said, "Really?
Lost in a landslide, memory serves.
Oh, yeah."
Yeah.
I don't even know why he did. I think he's got money, but
Yeah.
why did he do it? He had no chance of winning.
Yeah.
Who was the other senator that was a former Jim Bolton? Memory serve?
Jim Bouton?
No, Jim Bolton. Wasn't he also a former pitcher? Another senator?
Jim Bouton was. Are you thinking of Jim Bouton?
Is that who I'm saying his name?
Yeah,
wrong?
but he was an author. He wasn't a. I don't know who you mean.
Because I believe he was a senator. Oh gosh. I'll look it up.
There was a guy who played for who played in Washington State,
Yeah.
who became a senator.
So it's not entirely unheard of. But I want to say it wasn't Bolton. Oh Christ, I can't remember. He
You mean his fiery brother Lightning Bolton?
Oh.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
That's okay. Hey, let's talk about the Oscars.
You
Oh, yeah,
killed
that's
you killed the groom's sister. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. All right.
We said we were going to talk about the Oscars. Let me bring those up.
You put a sword through her head. You know how it is.
But the best thing to me about the Oscars is, and I mean this, is how much care, and they really do, attention they pay to the small Oscars, like documentaries.
Yeah.
No, because those people work hard and they put out brilliant stuff. They do.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's good. No, definitely. I wish I was able to see a lot more of them. I know that Michigan Theater here usually has the shorts up, and they usually
you can see them on Netflix.
Oh, on Netflix, yes.
I don't know if you get recognized at the award ceremonies, but the Academy does a great job in preserving films.
They sure do.
For films.
They sure do, because those things are going away.
Exactly. Stuff that will, if it doesn't get digitized, it will
No,
not.
I love that. By the way, Mark, I was talking to Santarelli today, Frank Santarelli.
Tell him I said hi.
I didn't get a chance to, because I dared to mention the name Conan O'Brien, and he went off on a rant about how he just thinks he's shit and his comedy is shit, and the only reason anybody listens to him is because he has great writers and he's shit. And I said, one more shit and I'll never have to go again.
Hello.
I mean, it was just so angry.
Was it because of the line about, sending up to the Russians? Was that the one?
No. It's in general.
Okay.
It was in general. His animus towards him is overwhelming.
Wow.
By the way, Brian Kiley is one of his writers.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've seen him on Facebook. Such a funny guy. He goes, you know,
He is
my when I there's a guy who I know, and he has a friend who's in the mafia, and it's interesting because when he was a little boy, the mafia guy used to let him start his car.
funny.
Yeah, go start my car. There we go. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh, you know Tom Kenny, right, Mark?
Yes, I do.
Do you, all,
How's-
do you guys know who Tom Kenny is? He's the voice of
He's the
SpongeBob
voice of.
SquarePants.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
So he told this story. I told the story that well, I didn't tell it, but he met Rodney Dangerfield, and he idolized Dangerfield. He just adored him. And Dangerfield says to him, Tom Kenny used to have this kind of wild haircut, like a 1980s haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And Dangerfield says, "The fuck are you doing with your hair? You look like a faggot." But he wasn't. And it was just. It got worse after that, and he just kept hammering him and hammering him. And Tom's like the nicest guy in the world. And Tom looked at him finally, and he said, "Fuck you, old man."
Wow.
And it rocked Dangerfield.
Yeah, he wasn't used to being stood up to.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
But my theory is, and I have no way of proving this, is he was drunk.
Oh, got it.
Because I talked to Rodney Dangerfield 20 times. He was never like that to me.
Got
But
it.
he has a problem with people who compliment him, because he thinks that every young comic who compliments him is trying to get work.
trying to kiss his ass.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily true. I mean, sometimes you just admire the guy.
Yeah.
But then if you think about, oh, by the way, did you watch CBS Sunday Morning? They had a whole thing on Carson.
No, I'll have to go back and watch it. I got
Yeah,
Paramount Plus anytime.
and the thing about Carson is everybody knows now he was very shy and very aloof, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
had problems and 4 marriages and all that, and I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I wish him good health and everything, but I didn't watch him because of what he wasn't.
Yeah.
There was no one better at him than what he did. No one.
He was
Yep.
funny. He was a great guy.
Oh, and by the way, he had a larger audience than Colbert, Fallon, and Kimmel combined.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he had a larger audience than everybody that watches network television, whether they're watching whatever. His audience on After the News on weeknights on NBC was larger than NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox all get After the News now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Dick Cavett tried for years to dethrone him, and it never worked.
Well, wasn't he trying it off of PBS? That's kind of hard to do.
Well,
I saw Cavett interviewing Norman Mailer, who was nobody's dream interview.
No.
And he was very hostile to Cavett. Like Mailer had this thing where he, thought he was a man's man.
Yeah.
He thought he was this era's a Hemingway,
Right.
Yeah.
which is bullshit, because Hemingway himself wasn't a man's man.
Who do we
And
know?
so-
Who do we know, Sam, that hangs out with Cavett?
With Cavett,
Yeah, I seem to recall seeing on either
Groucho.
Facebook, Instagram. I know that. I'm talking about somebody that one of
Well,
our.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Jesus wasn't available.
No, one of our contemporaries though hangs out with Cavett. I'm trying to think
Cavett
of who it
did
is.
one of the nicest interviews with Groucho Marx that I ever saw, though.
Yeah, that is a good interview.
Credit. And
Oh, I know. Robin Givens. I'm sorry. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
What is she up to these days? Has she spent the divorce money by now?
Her neck and pecker.
Does she need to do anything? I mean, really?
No.
So, what? It wasn't brought up in the poem, so we haven't really talked about it. But anything new on the Gene Hackman?
On who?
Gene Hackman and his wife and their deaths.
his daughters are having it investigated
If,
because they want his money.
well, yeah, if they can find it.
Oh, by the way, on the Oscars, that was a very touching tribute from Morgan
Oh,
Freeman.
Morgan
Yeah,
Freeman. Yeah, that was
very
nice.
good.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice.
Did you hear what Robert? Did you see what Chris Rock said?
No.
What?
He goes, "When the fuck did Snoop Dogg become Morgan Freeman? That motherfucker is on every goddamn ad."
Well, didn't Snoop go in on sponsoring a college bowl game?
Yes.
Yeah, so one of the bowl games is
Which-
named after Snoop and somebody. So it's like
Is the Snoop Dogg Bowl? That's very funny. That's how
And
that's how
let
low the
me
bowl
say,
games have gotten.
I hope he
That
makes
one
as much
guy can
money
sponsor.
as is humanly possible.
yeah, exactly.
God bless him.
He's
If you
doing
think
good.
about where
Well,
the
how
guy
about-
came from and where he is now, good for him.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about America is that he and Martha Stewart can be best of friends. You know, those two are all buddy.
I think that's a tribute to her.
Yeah.
Tribute to America, I think.
Yeah.
You know, she's Polish.
Oh wow.
I don't care.
No, I'm just saying there aren't a lot of women, you know, Slavonski Yakansi, who you see.
Martha Stewart. My actual name is.
Yeah.
She is. I'm going to tell you something. If you see her talking about something like gardening or something like that, if she doesn't know it, it doesn't exist.
Mhm.
That's true.
She's really smart.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff. No doubt.
You know, if you follow her recipes, you know, like the one.
One time for Thanksgiving, we had a Martha Stewart Thanksgiving. We had to cook everything that Martha Stewart did. We brought pots. So I went with the
Did that include the meth lab?
yes. And then we each had to spell out a secret sort of stock price, and then try and get that ahead.
All I want is a crock pot. That's all I want. And my wife goes, "Why do you need a crock pot?" I said, "Because I want one. They're $18. God damn it. $18.
We've got 3 of them. We had our own, and then when my
I'll
mom
give
died,
I'll give you my home address.
okay. When my mom died, we got hers, and when Sue's mom died, we got hers. So now we got 3 crock pots.
3 crock
They're great for the holidays.
575 Grand Street.
You'll get one, Sam.
So why are they great for the holidays?
Because they're basically, you put them on the lowest temperature setting, and they act
And
as,
walk away.
They're dish warmer. They're warmers. We'll usually have like Swedish meatballs in one, and some sort of a cheese dip in another. They're just great because you can, and you'd think, well, that's a lot of cheese dip, and then I got to remind people, I got 8 kids, and we got
and the meat falls off the bone. It falls right off the bone.
Yes, exactly. But another thing that we like at Costco sells these frozen packaged meals. You just throw them in there, and that's all. And we get the garlic chicken, or the what's the other one that we like a lot? The the what do you call it? The hot wings.
Oh.
They cook. When you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, they got to cook those, and they got to watch them. We just throw them in the slow cooker, and then, hey, it's been a half an hour. Let's check them out. Hey, they're great.
Somebody explained boneless wings to me. That's like boneless neck. That's like boneless neck bones. I don't understand it.
Boneless wings. Those come from flightless birds.
I'm concerned about thighs without bones in it. What does it do with the thighs?
You remember Bill Thomas's line, Andy, about buffalo wings?
No.
He goes, have you ever had buffalo wings? They're so small. Well, it makes sense. Buffaloes, you never see a buffalo fly.
That's funny. There was a guy in DC named Bill Thomas, who wrote for the Baltimore Sun.
Oh.
And he did stand up. And he goes, a lot of people don't realize this, how tiny Nancy Reagan is. She's actually a size 1, which is true. That's true. And he said, and because of that, she is afflicted with the aging white woman's disease, which is, as she speaks, you can sense her disappearing into her own asshole.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. I almost couldn't finish that. Oh my God. Oh, oh.
That's good.
That's funny. Ooh. But no, she was like a size 1 or a size 0.
Oh.
Someone who I knew from government, I said, what do you know? How did they meet? How did Ronald Reagan? Because he was divorced from Jane Wyman.
They did a film together, didn't they?
Who?
Yeah, Nancy. They did do a
Nancy Davis.
Something
Nancy,
about the Navy.
Nancy, yes, Nancy Davis and Ronald Reagan did a film. I'll look it up. I'll find out what it was.
Yeah, and she was apparently the BJ Queen of Hollywood.
You just took
that's
the
good
words
to know.
out of my mouth, and ironically, out of hers. Yeah. Best BJ on the Southern Coast. That's right.
Well, someone's got to be the best one. Why not her? I mean,
Yeah. Why can't a girl strive?
exactly.
There we go.
God knows she got some
That's
practice.
the only way you can get up there. That's where you got to do it, I guess.
Or get down there.
Get down there. There we go.
Oh, wow! This is an even better story. This is an even better story than having them work together. On November 15th, 1949, Nancy met Ronald Reagan because he was at the time the president of the Screen Actors Guild, and she had noticed that her name had appeared on the Hollywood blacklist.
Oh,
Which is ironic.
Davis appealed to Reagan for his help to help her maintain her employment as a guild actress in Hollywood, and insists in having her name removed from the blacklist.
Which is ironic because her father was a huge conservative.
Well, saying blacklist meant
Well,
something back then.
Loyal Davis was his name.
wow.
Yep. Well, wasn't Hillary Clinton's Hillary Rodham? Wasn't her daddy a big old?
Yeah, but she wasn't to the right of Mussolini.
Well, who is? You can't get in there. He takes up all the room.
But I think the most ironic thing about what we just discussed is that Reagan was the president of the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah,
which
he
is
was a
nobody's
union.
conservative, anything.
Right.
Oh, they're one of the now these days. They're one of the strongest unions out there.
Mm.
They really, and who gets credit for that? Fran Drescher.
Oh yeah.
God bless her.
Well, I think you know what? Another strong union is the National Football League players, the Major League Baseball players, NBA and NHL. Those sports team players, because they know if they're not playing, the owners can't go put skates on. You know what I mean? And do the same thing that these athletes do. And I think it's the same thing with actors and writers. Writers to a lesser degree now because they got AI.
Yeah.
The strongest union of all the sports unions is the NBA.
Mm.
And the weakest is the NFLPA, because if you sign a contract for $80 million and it's a 4-year contract, at any given time, the NFL, the owners can tell you, "Oh, we're not paying you.
Yeah,
Right.
We're just not paying you."
But
Yeah, the NBA. If the NBA has a contract like that, and they say you're not working for us anymore, you still get your contract money.
that's why you get the guaranteed bonus. What your agent?
Well, the NBA is so strong because they'll tell an owner, "I don't want to play for this. I don't want to play for you. I just don't." And
That's going on.
hockey is
all the
just
time.
grateful that they provide them with teeth.
Yeah.
Every season, there's an NBA trade that is the result of a player going, "I'm just going to sit until you guys trade me."
What do you
Right.
want to play for you on your team?
What's
Say
that?
again?
I said, do you want a player who doesn't want to play for you on your
Well,
team?
John Elway was playing for was drafted by the Colts, and he told them, "I don't want to play here."
Yeah.
And he didn't.
They didn't.
Mhm.
You know,
Nor should he, frankly.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy that wouldn't go to San Diego? There was a guy that
what's
wouldn't go to
his
San
name?
Diego too.
was it Eli? Eli Manning?
Yes, Eli Manning wouldn't go to San Diego. That's how the Giants got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eli Manning has no love whatsoever for a beautiful city.
Yeah.
He and his brother are raking in cash by the bushelful.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm trying to figure who's making more money, them or the Kelseys.
Oh yeah.
Boy, that's
And none of them make as much as Flo, the Progressive Insurance lady.
No.
She makes
well.
the most.
She's my
She's more than
hero.
all of them.
right.
Wow. She's good.
I'll tell you something else great about her. Her sidekicks are now
Yes.
catching in.
Yes.
The one
Yep.
Mara, the little one with a voice like this,
Yeah.
and she stalks this woman in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Wasn't she? What? Now I remember. Wasn't she with the Groundlings? I think she was a.
I think they all were.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, at least she doesn't have to do OnlyFans like Mark and me. So.
Hey, I don't have to do OnlyFans. I want to.
Yeah, you just wanted to see what it was about. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I just wanna-
You know
wanna
your
see what
career isn't going well when you get a reject letter from Bumble.
Well, when you go on Grindr and tell them it's Fat Tuesday and they say we're not interested.
Or you hear this, yes, Sam, we know.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I almost got kidnapped and killed in Detroit last week.
Oh, how'd that
Wow, what
happen?
happened?
I picked up a nice junkie couple here in Ann Arbor from one of our least favorite motels. The it's like Residence Inn or one of these places where you can check in for a week. And of course they're going to
Southeast side of town.
west side, Michigan and Wyandotte, or no, Wyoming. Michigan, Wyoming, not far
Oh
from
yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. I know where you're at.
They wanted to take me down Lanyo, not too far away from where Metal Mike is at and some of the other scrap yards.
Yeah.
Since they didn't put that in as their final destination, although it would have been mine, they put in a convenience store. And when I got there, the guy they were supposed to buy the cell phone from, because although they had 3 cell phones on them, they're going to Detroit at 9 p.m. to buy a cell phone because, yeah, that's what people do. And they were doing it. Andy, you're familiar with this. They offer. They said, finish the ride, turn it off, which means kill the tracking, and we'll pay you in cash to go the rest of the way. And of course, when we get to wherever it is we're going, that's when someone jumps out of the woodwork or whatever, and
kills you.
The car shoots me dead.
Right.
Yeah.
2 days in the car till they get busted.
Jason, I have great respect for you, but saying that you almost got kidnapped and killed at this time of the show is kind of bearing the lead.
Yeah. I would say yes. Yes, there we go.
And almost burying you.
Almost.
So.
Yeah.
But as I look at it as a fellow Uber driver, I kind of go, "What are you complaining about?"
Hey,
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst thing that ever happened to
Quit
you?
your bitching. They're gonna pay you cash, man.
you paid for some of that, didn't you?
They're paying in cash.
You guys.
I'm sorry, we don't accept stamps.
No.
By Lanyo, by one of these, and there was one of these really horrible rundown party stores, and I said, "We're pulling in over there, and you guys are stepping out." And they got out, but yeah, that had setup written all over it. So there you go. And
which is why you don't work after 6 o'clock in the afternoon. There you go.
We had a comic that lived on Lanyo, and it was the most surprising house. He invited me in. You go into this house, it looks like your house is on Lanyo, kind of like everything's on the front porch, including the refrigerator. And but then you went inside this place, and it was kind of like, he had to make it look shitty on the outside, so nobody would think about going in to get anything.
Yeah, because it was a nice place.
It was a great look. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was it would look.
That dude.
Well, that's every place I've ever lived.
Ipsy's a god. The houses look like they go inside. It's like, oh well, hell, not so bad. Yeah.
All right, kids, it's 9 o'clock. God bless you all.
Yeah, hear the music. That means it's time to go. Well, anyway, we're here every Monday night. We talk about stuff that's going on or just stuff that we want. We're trying to make each other laugh, basically.
I'm trying to get out of here because I have a gig at the Livonia Hilton.
There you go.
Don't do that. Well, I gotta go take my wife and Claire. So
I gotta go see the Livonia City Hall. There we go.
yeah. I'm gonna
And
pick up
remember,
an
they're
Eclair
cream
biscuit.
filled.
Ooh.
That's right.
I'm gonna go
gonna.
swallow.
Well,
Eclair
she's gonna be cream filled once I get it to her. All right. But anyway,
I hope. Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
God. Oh,
There was no need for
oh
that.
my God. That's so.
There was
Oh,
no need for that.
oh my. I know this woman. How dare
Oh
you?
my God.
all the stuff we talk about, and I make a cream
Oh.
filled pony coke.
No. You can't do that to her. You son of a. No.
Filled donuts.
No, I'm going to tell her what you said. No, and then.
This one would burn. Yes.
Oh my God. And then I'm ringing a choco filler. Oh no.
There we go.
Oh my God. Is there no shame? I think we know the answer.
Well,
We'll be here next Monday night at 8 o'clock, everyone. Good night.
Oh, by the way, my blood clot was successful. The surgery was successful.
Oh, cool.
Oh, great. We'll talk after the show. The people don't.
Yeah,
know.
I'll show you my scar.
Okay,
Oh.
great.
Oh, I always like that when women want to show me that scar.
What are you saying?
Not saying anything.